and gentlemen, so as per schedule, we are having group discussion, and since we are having two more persons who are having their first GD, so let me introduce you with the topic. So in GD, there would be two rounds. In the first round, the GTO will give you a topic. He will give you two topics. You have to choose one of them. The topic would be based on current affair. So it is said that the person who is quite efficient in reading newspapers uh, basically excels in this round. And the second round would be of based on the current social issue, and you have to discuss on that. The duration of discussion on each topic is 20 minutes. So you will be given 20 minutes for first round as well as 20 minutes for second round. Okay. And in this task, you are not asked to come to a conclusion. So you can move on with that. So let me give you your first topic based on current affairs. So shall we? Let me know if I am clearly audible.
You are audible. Go ahead.
Okay. Pushpesh, kindly copy down the terrorism wala and paste in the chat. Okay, I am reading that. So your first topic is India is facing several challenges on its path to becoming a superpower. Which of these, in your opinion, is the most complex problem and must be addressed first? A. Terrorism. B. Naxalism. C. Separatism. Am I clear with that? Guys, let me know. Nitendra. And this is our first topic. And we'll start by that. Okay. Okay. Mokon, great buddy. Okay. So I'm putting the timer and we'll start the discussion.
Sir, please repeat points.
Okay. Buddy, please check the chat box. We have also copied the topic in the chat box, if possible.
Terrorism, Naxalism, and separatism.
Yeah. Okay, I'm putting the timer. The GD starts now. Start.
Gentlemen, according to me, what I feel is that terrorism is the main reason which becoming the hurdle for the India to becoming the superpower. As we know, terrorism affect the India in a very various ways. And sometimes, if we take the issue of the Pakistan, it create a terror in our country. And because of the terrorism, sometimes illegal drugs, equipment, arms is travel to our country to make the internal disturbance in our country.
See, according to me, Naxalism is something which should be dealt on the priority. Because if you are not strong from inside, how can you deal with the problems you are facing on the border? So according to Naxalism, Naxalism is something which should be dealt first to become a superpower in the world.
Bro, but one thing that the Naxalism who is inside in our country, but he is getting the arms and ammunitions from outside our country. Who is getting from the outside? Who like he's with the help of the other terrorist group, he is getting the ammunition, arms. If we get control in the terrorism, after that we also get control in our Naxalism. To control the Naxalism, we have done a lot of things, and we are getting a control on that.
See, the things that we should give the educate the people from the group, the Naxalism group. That can help a lot. We can educate them. We can organize awareness camp in the Naxal areas. It can help a lot.
I agree with you. Like government also done some like surrender policies, which can attract the terrorists, which can attract the Naxalism to surrender. But the thing, we are getting a control on the Naxalism, but in the point of the terrorism, we are still facing a challenge to get a control on the terrorist, because as you know the example of 14th Feb 2019, uh, Black Day of Indian History, Pulwama attack on the city of soldiers. So this is done by the terrorist group, which is Pakistan-based terrorist group Jaish-e-Mohammed. So we are losing our soldiers and civilians and lot of other unguarded security personnel.
Thanks, I agree with you all. But in my view, separatism is the main cause where we are lacking today. As we all know that due to any religion or any minority cause, we in every second day we face any of the situations in the country, internal disturbance, as we are seeing in the Manipur and recently in the Haryana state. So if we within the country are not strong enough, then how can we fight the world outside? To become a superpower, we need the qualities of a strong leadership as well as a strong willpower inside.
Yes, I agree with you. And because when the separatism grows in a country, it divides the religion, caste. It divides on the basis of a caste, religion. For example, in Manipur, as we seen that the Metis communities and two tribal communities are divided about their reservation for their reservation, and we have seen in many different cities from like a Karnataka also, and in different parts like Bengal, West Bengal, and UP and Bihar, some parts. Peoples are divided in upper caste or a lower caste, so that the people are always fighting to each other, and internal disturbance in the particular states are always raised. And some parts like these
mention a good point.
For like some
one thing that also agree that you know that the violence of Manipur is happening because they are getting some arms and ammunition according to the latest news, and the Pakistan and China outfits, they are smuggling arms. So it means they are getting
arm and ammunition because
terrorist group. So,
because they are separated because they are separated, so that when the peoples are having
I would like to support the idea of Nitendra. If we focus on our border issue, we can cut down the supply of we can cut down the monetary supply and weapon supply. That's the main cause of the internal disturbance.
Every country there is an internal disturbance between civilians and citizens. But we can get outside. But because of the terrorist organizations, they are managing violence getting worse and worse in the day by day.
Of an Indian citizen.
Sometimes it's not that.
For example, since we know that the terrorism always, from my point of view, that the terrorism is an active killing, but the Naxalism is a passive killing. And when the Naxalism grows, it always kills the human institutions like public places and all these things. On these things are always grows because when they think and they have a feel that they are backing from the society, where the societies are developed, but they are not participating in the society where the people are now
I share in that talking
backward classes like Metis communities.
There are 23 districts which are affected by the Naxalism. But according to the government initiatives of Green and Corridor, Red Corridor, Salwa Zudum, Andhra Pradesh Police, and some surrender policies of Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, we are left around 70 districts of which is affected by the Naxalism. We are getting control on it, and we can get, of course, in one day we will become a Naxalist-free country. But terrorists outside the country, we have to make proper plan. Sometimes you saw that there are fake currency circulating in our country, smuggling of arms, goods. This is possible because of the terrorists. And the main reason behind the terrorists is there is a porous borders because of Indian geographical structure. We cannot protect all these things. We cannot protect by the security guards. So terrorists is the thing that we have to
but terrorists always come into our country when they get supported from the inner side of the country.
It's not only that sometimes it needs geographical, like the example of geographical sectors, that because of the porous borders and geographical structures, we are not get protected. Sometimes Indo-Nepal border, Indo-Bangladesh border, you saw that Indo-Bangladesh border, immigration, illegal migration, which causes disturbance in West Bengal. So all these things, and easily Pakistan send their terrorist group by sending to the Nepal. After that, they will come to. So
I am agree with you that the all internal disturbance are always or sometimes always arise by the some groups of the terrorism of the different Indo-Pakistan borders, Indo-Nepal, Indo-Afghanistan borders. I apologize for that. There is no Indo-Afghanistan border. Always it comes to the Indo-Myanmar. These are the some parts where the terrorism activities are always or have been always seen. And always
People are discussing about the superpower, India being a superpower. So the main thing that we can become a superpower is by leading the world, and leading the world, we need to develop our country. We are still a developing country, so when we will become a developed country, so that will impact the world in a better way. So that will be our superpower. As we all know, we have been recently conducting the C20 meets and SU meets. So that kind of meetings and leading those and impacting the world in a better way, like we are conducting the Solar Alliance groupings and all other things. Recently we have done the Delhi Declaration. So in all these aspects, these are the aspects we can put our knowledge to the world. We can share our knowledge. So in these ways we can become the superpower. And the challenges for these are our internal disturbances mainly. Terrorism and all other activities are there, but the main thing where we are currently lacking is the internal disturbances. As many of the European countries are also always saying that minorities are being affected, and we all have we are facing lack of the issue. So in these cases, we should think in a positive approach, and we should improve on our internal disturbances. We can have various constitutional takeaways, like having a strict rules in the disturbances area, like Manipur. We can impose Article 356, where we can have the union government imposed or the governor rule. So these are the solutions to the problems, and being a superpower is a matter of leadership and how we impact the world in a better way.
Disha, I am agree with you, but as you mentioned that this is the main reason. But if we know that internal disturbance, internal security is in our hand. We can control on it. We can get control on it. But in the matter of the terrorist, this is not in our hand. We can by targeting some terrorist group. If we know the
we can control. We can control our terrorism. As we have seen,
cut the ammunition, arms, and illegal supplies, and with the help of the government, proper between the peoples, we can get control on these civil matters wars, like Manipur violence. And of course, we can get the control on the Manipur violence if we cut the supply of from Pakistan and China group.
In my point of view, that there is no actually cannot controlled by our government. control.
In my opinion, Naxalism and separatism is the component of internal disturbance. So if we focus on the internal disturbance, then we can definitely improve the. We can definitely become the superpower.
As you know, that
if you want to improve the world, you have to start with it.
Are not satisfied with the government. Some people are always not agree with the government or not agree with the government policies or some particular caste or religions, and they create peaceful violence against the government.
This is not about violence. They can do the protest. They will protest. They will not spread the violence.
This protest become violent.
Violence due to the Naxalism only.
Of course, I am agree, but the reason is that when he is doing a protest, after he is become violent when he get the arms ammunition from the terrorist group. Terrorist group not only
if you take the example of Jammu and Kashmir, they are not getting. There are groups which are not getting the weapon supply or something. They are doing the stone pelting incidents are happening there. That is a kind of internal violence only. So if we focus on that, we can create a better image in the world, and we can become
the hybrid terrorist. As you know that they are using the person one or twice to commit a crime. This is a hybrid terrorist. And terrorist group not only create the disturbance in our country, it supplies the drugs. If you saw the news in the Punjab and Haryana, a lot of drugs, drones are fought with the drugs, and we are getting
terrorists are using the. We can educate them. We can cut out the channel, and we can control the voters too.
We are doing these things, but we are
the terrorists and the Naxalism are always supported by the internal peoples of India, of any country. Like some part when the people are backed, when they feel that they are backed with the society of a developing, when the society are developed in different aspects like a religion, caste based, then these peoples are always supports the terrorism, supports the jihadi systems. We have seen
what
in our discussed area when people are separated by the races, like religion or society. This support the terrorism and also
control over the terrorism.
As you have said, that smuggling is here, and this arms smuggling, and all that small back peoples which are at the food back, and the people who are back from different sectors, like education and developing natures. They don't get any proper education. These are the peoples who did this. As we can see in our channels, always in belong that means indeed because
of Naxalism. But during the last 15 years, thousands of players and thousands of paramilitary forces.
I'll say grows from our Indian Air Force.
We can become a super.
We have recent times that took most of its solutions to condemn the terrorism and Naxalism, and we have also deployed the paramilitary forces into the Naxalism areas, and also deployed various recently we have various RR and also the various regiments in posted across the border. But if we see for separatism, do not have particular forums or particular solutions, well-defined solutions where we can implement like 356, where we impose strict governance rule or president's rule. So it is high time. It is high time that we should focus on the separatism and lead our country for the superpower.
We can also support all the peoples to go to some reservation.
particular thing for this.
As Puna Pact in 17, as we give in.
As the majority of us are focusing on the internal matter, so we can conclude to that only.
So it is conclude. It's your opinion. You put your opinion, not go for the conclusion.
From my opinion, there should be ending of a separatism leads to every citizens give their full percent to develop the country. From when a child of a small caste or a religion grows and develops, for example, he developed some like a computer system, like a IT in IT sectors he developed like a rocket or other things. And he can now do in different fields from miniature art, so that the country would develop.
Okay, guys. Time is over, and we are done with our first. I think, yeah. We should proceed with our second topic, which is on a social issue. Pushpesh, kindly copy that in the chat, and I will start narrating. Okay. So our social issue topic is Indian, and I think we should keep the timing of 15 minutes. Okay, since we are having very less people, and okay, so I'm putting timer of 50 minutes. We'll have GD of 15 minutes only, and I'm narrating the topic. Indian, yeah, it's more than enough. Yeah, great. Indian women have traditionally been deprived of their rights. Which of these measures do you think will truly empower them? Education, job reservation, and political reservation. Whenever you are ready, start. Starting timer. Yeah. Go on, buddy.
Sir, please again.
Education is the main reason to empower the women because
Ritik, check the chat box, buddy.
in our
We have copied that in the chat box also.
constitution.
Yeah, Nitin, go on.
भाई जो करना बता दें, मतलब टाइम स्टार्ट करना और बताना, ठीक?
अच्छा, wait. Ritik, I've stopped the timer. Ritik, kindly check in the chat. Is the topic there? Mohit, you also.
Okay, sir.
चैट में चेक कीजिए आप, देखिए टॉपिक भेजा है क्या? पुष्पेश, अगेन कॉपी दैट. मैं बोल देता एक बार. Let me narrate. Indian women have traditionally been deprived of their rights. Which of these measures do you think will truly empower them? Option A, education. Point B, job reservation. Point C, political reservation. I'm starting the timer. Start.
Gentlemen, what I feel is that patriarchal norms restricted Indian women education and employment choices. From the choice to acquire education, to entry into the workforce, and to the nature of their jobs, and because of the education, they get educated and they do a lot of things. And we have seen this thing practically that because of the educations, we have a lot of examples who have done best. And if we talk that in the education sector, we have an example of Sanaka Dhaka, NDA first batch, and also all the three ranker of the UPSC to UPSC
I totally agree with you, but if there were no job reservation in that particular field,
education play a very important role to empower the women.
yeah, I totally agree with you, but if there is no job reservation in that particular field, how can they succeed? We need to focus on the political reservation first, so that they can go in the power and become a lawmaker. Then they can make a law on the women empowerment. They can they can close on job reservation so that more get the job.
Then the woman is educated. Then how she can make a out?
Yes, I agree with Ritik that women do not need any reservation, especially any political or any job reservation for the empowerment of their own. And education is the main role which plays in the empowerment of any society. Not only women but also men need the education in a right direction for the empowerment of women as well as their own.
If women have an education, she can lead in any exits, like from riding a car to riding a pilot, to driving or riding a aeroplane.
Mukund, if you want to
Yes, and a
participate, you
good
can,
point
buddy.
mentioned by Terrorism.
If you want
And
to
a good point
participate,
mentioned by
you can.
Terrorism, we have seen with results of UPSC that the top ranker was so that ultimately says that we do not need any job reservation in the
rural areas,
See, along with the education, job reservation is a point that we should focus on.
and not educated is that of the boys, especially in the rural areas. That like government takes some initiatives like Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao Yojana. In spite of that, in the rural areas, scenes are not much changed. They are not send their girls after to college after 12th. They generally after 12th married the girls. If we create awareness and education programs so that women can also do their best in some fields. Whenever women get a chance, they have proved themselves that they have achieved themselves by their capabilities. Like I give the example like environmentalist Tulsi Godwa, Padam Shri 2021, is known as Encyclopedia of Forest. He get a chance. First he get an education. After that he create an interest on environment. After that they become the Encyclopedia of Forest. Padam Shri, he get the Padam Shri in the year 2020. So I think education is the basic thing that required for the women to empower the women.
See, if you take example of NDA, there were lakhs of girls who were educated, but they were not getting the job. Why? Because there were no job reservation in the NDA exam. It is not about the reservation. The education job reservation is something that we should focus on.
It was not a job reservation, but it was not the seats being allocated. Women needed.
What he will do for the reservation? If he is not get the education, if we reserve some,
They were educated in our country, but they were not getting so why? Because there were no
She is
job
the first girl who is in IB. And she worked with Subhash Chandra Bose in as a IB, Intelligence Bureau, for when she. If you want to be successful, you have to have an education and having a knowledge about that field. And it come with the education only, not about the job reservation or any political reservation at that point of time. Because here, when there is no reservation, but still people are who having the skill or the knowledge about that, and that is due to the education. Like at the time, if we go like Jhansi Rani, she don't have Lakshmi Bai don't have any reservation or something, but she leads the troops at that point of time also. So
if we focus on the job reservation, we can we can attract the girls to we can encourage the girls to educate and to get the education and get the job.
Yeah. I'm agree with this because, like, the most of the parents for more participation we can do this, but still if they don't have education they can't do anything.
Ritu Karidwal, she is a woman and she is not getting any reservation. In spite of that, they do their best and lead the Chandrayaan 3 and launch the successfully. There are a lot of examples that where women have done their best in the sports sector, in the scientific, we talk in the technology sector. Tessie Thomas, Missile Women of India, he worked in the Agni 5 project. So we give the basic education to the women and we create the awareness from for women. Then we can then women prove themselves that they have a capability, and they have already proved that I have mentioned a lot of examples.
See, here we are talking about women empowerment. Empowerment means giving the power to the woman. So if there are no job reservation and political reservation, how can you empower the woman?
Okay, I am agree with you that
along with the education, job reservation and political reservation is
not getting the basic education. Then what will you do for the reservation?
I'm not saying that education is not a factor that we should focus on. I am saying that along with the education, job reservation is something that we should focus on.
Of course, that like in the NDA, of course, this should be do. Base education is the like a kind thing for the women. It's also get motivated if they get good marks in the 10th and 12th standard. They get motivated and they always try. Then they can send the college. I have a example of the rural areas. A girl who I know that he get the 10th and 12th. He has a good marks. In spite of that, his parents is not try to send in the college. He is not getting the equal chance as that of the boys. So there is the thing is that parents are not much broad thinking about the girls. So we have to provide a basic education that you have mentioned that we have to also have a reservation so that parents can
parents or the
Yes, gentlemen, adding to your point, I would like to add that we all know that true empowerment is when women are independent financially as well as when women are independent on their own financially as well as socially. So education is the main cause where we can feel the women are empowered. As we all have seen the various surveys done by the Indian government that recently only 15 to 20% of the women in the country are financially independent. So when half of the human resource of the country is not participating, how will our country develop in a right way? So empowerment of women through education is the main thing that we need today, not the job reservations and the other things.
Yes, education is the basic thing. We can also do like government has launched self group launched by the governments to empower the women, and they are self-help group is doing good things and lot of things that government has launched for the women. But basic thing is that the education which play a major role to empower the women.
I think, gentlemen, I think we should end the discussion here.
And all we can go with. Because
I think we should end the discussion here. Okay. You all participated. Some did more, some did less, but yeah, well and good. Let us start with the feedback session. Okay, yeah, fine. Pushpesh, do the honors, and I will do the feedback in the later part.
I'm sorry for the inconvenience as in the mid of the meeting due to my network issues. I had to left the meeting. So starting from Diksha, coming to the first topic, she spoke about the separatism. She told that what separatism is, generally she told that due to the religion in the minority, means a group is divided or a group thinks that they should be given a, different state or a separate state or a separate country. So, which was a good point. Then she talked about Manipur and Haryana. She talked about the internal security threats that India is having. She also told that we should be strong enough, to handle the power, handle such things. She told, then I'm sorry, my network, due to my network connection, was not that good, so I was disconnected. After that, I heard you talked about the G20 meets and the Delhi Declaration, uh, and many things you talked about. You also talked about that European countries they say about the minority issue. Uh, in the whole discussion, you were talking about how to improve internal security, and for example, you told that we could impose Article 356, governor's rule. The paramilitary forces and RR are there for border areas, but there is nothing for Naxalism or something like that. So overall, it was nice participation. You gave some good points, which was good. Now coming to the second part, second GD, you talked about the education. One point which I liked of yours in this was that you told that what really women empowerment is. So you told that women empowerment is basically about the independent, means women are independent socially and financially. Then you gave the stats that the Indian government has taken out that only 15 to 20% women are, independent now. So you were talking about education. So which was nice. You gave some points in favor of the topics or the views or the view that you choose. Now coming to Ritik, he also talked about separatism. Uh, he talked about that. He also talked that what really separatism is. He talked about the caste and the religion, the minority groups, the Mathis community. He also talked about that. Uh, he said that the Naxalism is a passive killing, means they destroy public places or communication, which on some point is right. Sometimes they do this type of things. Then also, he also talked about the same thing, that actually it's the internal threat that's haunting us. We are lacking due to the internal threats. And he also talked about one thing I would like to say. He said that Indo-Pakistan border, Indo-Afghanistan border, then he was sorry for that. He said that I'm sorry. So I would like to say that if you are, confident, or if you know that this thing is, this thing is right, then only speak. First, think in your mind that what you are speaking, then speak. So, firstly, think wisely in your mind that the point which I am going to say is right or wrong, and then speak. I saw in this JD, many people were speaking and they were thinking, what should I say, am I right or wrong? So it should not be like that. He also told that many internal people, they support the jihadis and etc., which was also good. Uh, Overall, his performance was also good. And I would like to say that if you are getting stuck in middle, then you could speak in Hindi and as well. And as soon as you gain your confidence, or you can speak in English again. For example, somewhere you were speaking in Hindi, you said 1 to 2 words, then you were like sorry. If you could not convey a message in English, it's not that you can't speak in Hindi. The GTOs or the assessors, they will be telling you that if you can speak in Hindi also, but be confident. Overall, it was nice participation from you. Now coming to Mohit part. Mohit, firstly, he talked about the Naxalism. He talked about the internal, threats that India is having. He talked about the priority to educate the people, the awareness campaigns, that various awareness campaigns that should be, that should be done. After that, what I didn't like that he changed his topic. It was not topic, but he told that after coming in the influence of Nitendra, he said that border issues, we should rather focus on border issues. We should see that Pakistani or someone, they could not, transport or they could not send ammunition, arms and ammunition in the country. Then again, he changed the topic. He now came to separatism and Naxalism. So if you are choosing one clue, stick to that. Give points that are justifying your clue. I would rather say do not jump into various clues or various things now. Just choose one wisely, which you think that it is right, and give points on that. Today's participation was not that much. In SSP, it won't be happening because there will be minimum 10 to 15 people, and everybody will be giving 2 points. So today only 3 to 4 people or 5 people they were speaking. So we were lacking in the points. So Mohit, I would like to say, do not flip or do not change the topics or the clues that are given to you. You are interchanging the clues. Now coming to yes, so I had one more point. It is about Mukund. He did not spoke in the first part.
What about the second topic, Fish?
Yes. Coming to the second topic. Yes, so you talked about the political reservation. Uh, it's all right. It's see the clues that are given. No clue is right, no clue is wrong. It's on you that how you justify your clue which you have chosen. So everyone was going against you. Everyone was speaking about the education, and you were talking about the political reservation. Uh, what I would like to tell you that if you choose these type of topics, please think and give logical answers to them. You were stuck a lot in the mid, which shows that when you are given pressure, so you become empty-minded. So please try to overcome this thing. You said that the females or the women should be given some political reservation so that they become the lawmaker. And then someone asked about that. How could I think Ritik gave that point that how could someone make the laws if they are not educated? So then you got stuck. Then you came to the ND examination, which I personally think was not a good idea because in ND examination, girls were not given seat. It's not that they could not qualify for the exam. They were not allotted the seats, so that's why they were not able to give the exam. You could have given the examples of political reservation or the exam where girls have got the reservation and it's it give advantage to them. You could have given many examples. For example, in UPSC, the reservations are given. No, it's you could say that it somewhat gives motivation to the people or to the girls that they are competing with themselves or something like that. There are many examinations where girls get reservation. You could have said many things about the reservation topic. And now coming to the 10th, coming to Mukund, he didn't spoke on the first topic. He just spoke on the second topic, and he just gave one point that he was talking about the education. Then he talked about Jhansi ki Rani, that she led the troops, which I personally think that he could not, he said that Jhansi ki Rani led the troop, then he could not justify his point that what he was trying to convey through that thing. So, as I would like to say that you should first think that what you are speaking. I know that you were trying to say that Jhansi ki Rani was having the knowledge about or she was having the skills or the knowledge about how to fight. So please think first wisely and then speak. Now coming to the 10, he initiated in both the topics. Firstly, coming to the first topic, he talked about the terrorism, I think. So he was talking about terrorism. He talked about the Pakistan issue that due to that terrorism, many of our soldiers have lost their lives. You could have given many examples. You gave one example, Pulwama attack. You could have said many things. Many examples are there, Pulwama attack, and daily we see that many of our soldiers, they are losing their life due to this terrorism. Now, you talked about the illegal drugs, the illegal arms, and you also said that it in 2611 is. So you talked about the drugs, you talked about the arms, you talked that the internal threat is due to, due to the arms and ammunitions that are, supplied by them. You were talking about, you talked that Pulwama attack was done by Jaise Mohammed, which was good that you are having the knowledge about that. You talked about that the violence of Manipur is done, but it is done because they are funded by the terrorists, which somewhat is right. I personally think. You talked then, but I would like to suggest you that please do not repeat your points a lot. You said that the smuggling of Wala point, you said come 4 to 5 times. Said that, which I would suggest again that if you are saying a point, it's because the GTOs are all the assessor. It's basically GD is the first task of the GTO. So he would be noting that point which you said. To repeat, how would you like to say, "Abhi kaam karo." So was what sounding like a trap extracts 4 times. Repeat. Try to just speak once, and if you feel that no one has heard, then you can speak it twice. But do not, repeat it so much. You said that with the negotiations, the Naxalism and separatism can be encountered, which I think it is not that easy, but yes, it can be negotiated. You could have given the example of Ajit Doval sir when he went to, I don't know which state he negotiated with that time. I do not remember that, but you could search it on that YouTube. It is a good point if you are speaking on this. And then yes, you gave a point that which yes, Ritik.
Sir, as Nitendra or someone told about he gave an opinion for a political reservation for the women.
Yes.
In somewhere it is a right point when a woman get a political reservation, if she have a proper knowledge about a politics, then doesn't involve how much he studied, because we have seen in the past years that most are not educated. We have also seen that most of the leaders of CM, chief ministers of different states, that having the chief ministers do not getting proper knowledge about something. But they have some bureaucrats who always giving him a enlightened that he or she to do that task or that task. कि उसे क्या करना है, सब ये सब चीजों को तो वो ब्यूरोक्रेट्स के देते ही है ना. But most of the for example, if a woman have a power of a chief minister, they have a lots of bureaucrats like IS, IPS, and different, like some secretary, some you can say, और अदर ब्यूरोक्रेट्स. ये सब सभी ब्यूरोक्रेट्स होंगे और उनको सलाह देंगे, दे गिव एडवाइस टू ऑल, ये सब कर लीजिए, ये सब ये नीति स्कीम्स अच्छे होंगे. So that it doesn't matter कि वो कितनी पढ़ी लिखी हैं वुमेन्स. Is it a right point or not?
That's what I would like to say.
But this thing is helpful only for some of the women, not all the women. All women not go for the politics. So education is a thing that helps all the women. Hello.
Ritik, are you audible? Am I audible? Ritik?
Yes, हाँ भाई आ रही है आवाज.
So I was saying that, see, if she is not educated, she could, someone could hit her, or someone could, uh, ask her to do something which is not favorable to the society. So, firstly, you think we should know that education is an important thing. I'm not saying that it is a bad point that the political reservation should be done. Reservations are done in the society. For example, in Rajya Sabha or in Lok Sabha, everywhere reservation is there, which is a good point. Because mostly what we see that a man in political, what happens normally that when election is there, normally a man, he is having good relations with others and etc. And what people's basic thinking is that they think that how can a woman lead us? You know, it is a basic thinking. Means I'm not talking about everywhere, but in villages or many reasons, they think that how can a woman lead us? So due to this, sometimes women do not come into political power. Sometimes, not many times. It is. I personally feel this. Many people think this type of things. So here, political reservation is good for them. So you can justify your point, but justify it in the right manner. What you are speaking is also right. See, right now also there are some male chief minister, etc. The bureaucrats are giving them also opinion, but it's in the hand of the chief minister or someone like that who is having that power, whether he implements that or not. So if she is educated, then she could understand that whether this is good or this is bad. She will, she could distinguish whether that thing is right or wrong. What I personally feel is I might be wrong. If you think any good point, then you could say. So then again, coming to Nitin, you gave a point which I personally think which is not right. You said that we should educate. How can you educate a terrorist, bro? No, it's how can you educate the terrorist? He, I think I heard that. I might be wrong.
नेक्स्ट के बारे में नहीं बोला था मैंने इंटरनल मतलब नक्सलिज्म है जैसे इनके बारे में या फिर सेपरेटिज्म.
So yes, then it is all right. Now coming to the second part of the GD, the second GD, you took the initiative again. One I would like to say that someone was asking a doubt. So let everyone ask a doubt. After that, try to speak. So you talked about the education. You told that how education is important, and you told that if she is educated, then she could do many things. I would like to add a point that instead of he, you should use C. थोड़ा इंग्लिश की प्रॉब्लम हो गई थी आपकी, which is all right. You all are learning here. Then you gave various examples. You gave the UPSC toppers or India rank 1, 2, 3 are females. You talked about Tulsi Godwa, who is Padma Shri. She was nominated and she was given Padma Shri in 2021, which was good. You gave some examples and you told about the rural scenarios that Beti Padhao mission is there. Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. Then also some parents think that they should not educate their child after 12th, which is true in many places. Bhai. In UP and Uttarakhand it's so. So which was a good point. Then you talked about that how women have gave a huge contribution in Chandrayaan 3, in Agni 5 missile, which was a good point. I was. Then I think I have told about everyone. I have. Ritik's, I forgot that he in the second. So I would like to tell you all that Ritik in the second. Ritik in the second GD, you told that how someone can make laws if he or she is not educated, which is nice. Baki, you told about a woman who was working with Subhash Chandra Bose, the intelligence bureau. Then you forgot. So one thing I would like to tell you: speak that only in which you are confirmed or you know the approx values, matlab, sometimes we give stats. For example, we say, I correctly do not remember that India's, GDP is 3.5 trillion or something. So I would say India's GDP is 3 to 4 trillion. So ये तब भी चलता है, but you just forego the whole point. So do not, suggest that point which you don't know. बाकी what I was give some feedback. बाकी GD में if you could give codes, for example internal thread वाले में कुछ अच्छे codes दे सकते थे आप लोग, बहुत सारे codes हैं, it would be good, codes वगैरह दे दो तो. बाकी Abhinav sir, if you are having some feedbacks then.
Yeah, fine. Am I audible? I would request Nitendra and Mohit, please
Yes,
turn
sure.
on your cameras if possible. Nitendra, France examples. Yeah, Nitendra, I would suggest you that please try to find a solution to stable your phone, because I think you are using in your hand. Yeah. Because it becomes quite difficult. It would help you. Yeah, it would help you. Try to fix it. Mohit, I think so. He also is having. I have not written that much points, but first thing I would like to inform you that the women empowerment was one of our topics that has been shared in our group. So I was hoping that the participants will come more prepared, but at the time, as Pushpesh mentioned in the chat, that it's all one-sided. So I think consider the topics that have been given to you, and if you prepare them, very good GD will come out with that, and also lecture it. I've written very little points. Nitendra, you talked about sending terrorists from Nepal. That was a pretty good point. It is highly acceptable that the terrorists are sent from Nepal, and it is a loophole in our security that we have BSF from the Indian-Pakistan border. But the Indian-Nepal relations are such that there is a very little less checking, and it is a loophole in the Indian security system, and we have seen with the example of the Seema Heather. So yeah, that was a good point. That was hard to encounter. And you also talked about the arms and ammunition provided to the terrorist, which is also a good point. And also you talked about the drugs, which is basically narco-terrorism, which was actually a great point because it was damaging, and it is damaging the youth of Punjab as well as the bordering state. It basically happens in the bordering states. So I think it was good point. One thing I would like to inform you that you told that other things like Naxalism and separatism, we can handle that, we can control that. See, don't try to say like that, because if we could, we would. So it's not like that. You could have mentioned that I think terrorism is most important because we have faced various casualties as well as various serious problems, because Kashmir was unrest due to terrorism from past few years. So yeah, try to mention that you included the date of February 14, which was of the Pulwama bomb blast. So I think it was a pretty good. My network was not quite clear in the second GD part, so I wasn't able to mention, and I might be wrong, but yeah, that's what I observed from your. Okay. Coming to Mohit, I think I wrote a point that see, cutting down others' point, Mohit, put your point forward. Okay. So when Nitin was putting one point, you were trying to cut down or counterpart his point. So try to put your point forward with a logic. You talked about basically you talked in favor of Naxalism, I think so, if I am right. And you talk about the organizing the awareness campaigns for the Naxalists to be aware of the to come in the mainstream, and it has also happened in the past few years that the government and the main system has trying to communicate with the awareness programs. So that was a good point, and yeah, it was pretty good. But I think that if you would have come prepared, it would have been because it was not your level good. Okay. Coming to Diksha, she was discussing in favor of separatism. If I am not wrong, let me know. So Yeah. So you could have added a point that separatism is a initial phase of major issues. Like we have also seen, you could have also given example of Kashmir, that the separatism that started in the initial phases after the independence resulted in the exodus of the Kashmiri Pandits. We have seen in the movie also Kashmir Files, and we have seen that it was due to the separatism. No? So if you could have added that point, it was hard to Khalistan, many points for, yeah, fine, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That you, if you are meant, see, it happens, huh? Whenever you have problem like Naxalism, terrorism, or anything, try to mention the bordering states of India. You will always see the problem of terrorism always found in the it will come inside the India by the way of Nepal. If we try to penetrate from the Kashmir, Rajasthan, other bordering state, because it happens. Okay, Hrithik, I wasn't able to put down your points. I would like to say that uh, instead of choosing a topic that someone has not chosen, try to choose the topic that you are okay with. I think people have chosen other topics, so you decided to choose the remaining topic. I think it was separatism, if I am not wrong. Let me know.
No, sir. When it is about to sing, at that time I have
I'm asking what was your topic? Separatism, Naxalism, or what?
separatism.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Na? Yeah. So I think you would have been more comfortable in other topic. Like you could have been, because yeah, I think you are not prepared with the separatism because your points were not good enough. So I would like to mention that if you are not coming prepared, see, GD is not a simple task. Huh? You'd have to put your points forward. And I think Nitendra, brother, I have wrote everyone's one point up, but you are the only person to whom I have written 3 points. So yeah, that's a commendable. But I hope this is not your level best. Even after providing the topic earlier from the day one of the week, Monday. Okay. And our one topic, the women empowerment, was given in the. So I was expecting that in the topic of education as well as we would have found good points. But yeah, fine. We'll be better with the time. I hope we'll see improvement in the tomorrow's session. And if anyone has any doubt and any feedback regarding us, you can ask. Mukund buddy, yeah, great. I think you have observed from today's session, and I hope you will join with the next GD. Am I audible, Mukund?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. If anyone has any doubt, please ask. Otherwise, I will stop the recording. No one?